Yo, what up? This comedian Marcus D. Wiley. I ain't a real pastor, but I'm a real pastor. And you checking out the Blessed Beatz Show. Amen.
Jehovah's passion for life. We just supported this team that be bringing them life.
All right, welcome to the Blessed Beatz Show. My name is Marcus Sullivan. Got a special guest in the building. Been trying to get him for years in the building. Y'all know him, Bishop Seckler. Y'all know him from the Hell Now Ministries. My favorite comedian, some of y'all call him Christian comedian, man. My favorite funny man, Marcus D. Wiley.
What up, dog?
What's happening, bro?
Man, it's good to see you.
Man, it's actually real good for me to be on this side actually interviewing you, man, for real.
First, let me say congratulations on everything.
Man, I appreciate it.
Your grind is paying off.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's paying
I
off.
learned it from y'all, man. For my people that are watching on blessedbeatz.com, listening on 937 The Beat, iHeart, for the people that don't know who Marcus D. Wiley is, let's start from the beginning, man. Let's just tell your story.
Okay. Well, Marcus D. Wiley, I'm from H-Town, Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Born and raised. Also, went to Texas Southern University. Got a couple degrees there. One was earned. The other one, I used my cachet to get. No, just playing. Got some degrees. And then, from there, man, became a comedian, a professor at Texas Southern University.
Yeah.
And then I was blessed to be on the Yolanda Adams Morning Show for 10 years. And so that's pretty much it. How'd
you jump into comedy, man? Because I think BET had something to do. I know you had.
So I worked at BET. After I graduated from grad school, I went to BET. I was producer of a show called Hits from the Streets.
That's what it was, yeah.
Hits from the Streets.
Yeah.
I worked there 3 years.
Okay.
And that was good training. And then, so I was writing all the stuff that people was laughing at him.
Yeah.
He was saying the stuff I was writing.
Wow.
So it was like, well, I'm probably funny. But I never thought about being a comic because all the ones I like, they cuss.
Yeah.
And, I know how to cuss. And so, but I knew I didn't want to, I couldn't be on stage doing it in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And so, got back to Houston, started working at this church.
Yeah.
And one of the guys there was like, yo, you pretty funny, man. You might want to try this comedy. And I was like, I don't cuss. And he was like, you can do it without cussing.
Wow.
And I hadn't even known. So he showed me a couple of people like Sister Cantaloupe, Project Rice, Jonathan Slocum.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, so it's cats out here that do it like this.
Yeah.
Jumped into it, never looked back.
Man, talk about the first time you got on stage, because just because somebody funny don't make them a comedian.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I know you funny.
Well, it does now with social media, but go ahead.
We'll talk about that. Okay. The first time Marcus D. Wiley hit that stage.
Yeah. First time I hit the stage.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lady in Houston booked me to do this coffee shop September the 20th, 2002. Okay, September 20th, 2002.
Okay.
She saw me host something at my church. She booked me for $500 to do her coffee shop.
Okay.
But my very first show, I went to Killeen, Texas.
Okay.
The guy who thought I could do comedy named Ramon Harper
took
me to Killeen, set up a show.
Yeah.
And I did a show in Killeen at a Chinese restaurant.
Well, how'd you do?
I did decent. I didn't get booed.
Yeah.
But people laughed, but I also thought it's Killeen. What else do they have to do?
What's Killeen?
No disrespect to Killeen.
Right.
But what else going on in Killeen? But that gave me the confidence, though, because I saw I could stand on stage, say some jokes, tell stories or whatever.
Yeah.
People were interested.
Yeah.
So then it gave me confidence to go do the latest show at the coffee shop on September 20th. She called, after I did her show, Marcus, she called me 3 days later and said, hey, we want to do this once a month, and I'm going to pay you $750.
Wow.
And that's when I never looked back.
Okay.
Because I was like, I'm getting $750?
To make somebody laugh.
To make somebody laugh. And this is in 2002.
When $750 was $750.
When $750 was $750.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, man, and then people, then that's when the grind started. I started inviting churches because her thing was no cussing, no vulgarities.
Yeah.
So I started inviting, so that's how the churches embraced me, because that's how single ministries and married ministries and, folk who was trying to, not, trying to live right but not be cussed out all the time.
Right.
So, yeah. That's how
all right, so that's where you learned the business.
Yeah.
Before that, it was just making people laugh.
Yeah.
And I got to say this part, man, the professor in you.
Yes.
How many years were you doing that?
15 years.
Okay.
15 years.
Texas Southern?
Texas Southern University. I was professor. Dr. James Wesley Ward was my dean. He hired me. And it was great because the professorship was like a give back.
Okay.
you know, man, I wasn't the smartest cat, you know, graduating from school, but you know, I was able to, I guess, position myself, not mess up, you know, and that's what I wanted to share with those students. Man, you can make it in life. One, if you don't quit. And two, if you limit the mistakes that you could possibly make.
Wow.
And so, you know, I want to just echo that to them and let them know, bro, it's out here. You know, I was letting them know. They was on this journey with me as I rose in the comedy game.
Wow.
And they was like, you know, Professor Wiley, they paying you what? I'm like, yes, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Right.
It's out here.
Right.
You know.
So you professor, you hitting the stage. And then this thing called radio. How this happen, man? Because this is where
changed the game.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about that radio story.
So I graduated radio, TV, film, first of all.
There you go. Get it right, dog.
Yeah. So I did do it. I had a little schooling. But what was so crazy, I go up to this particular radio station and I try to get my own show. I wanted a Sunday after church drive. Watch this. Sunday after church drive. I had all the stuff. This character I played, Bishop Secular. I had all this stuff. The station didn't even listen to it. They told me, man, listen, it ain't. We don't want it. We don't need it. And I was fine had they listened to it and said we don't like it. I'm cool. I don't wear my feelings on my shoulders. But they ain't even listen to it. They was like, radio done changed. That ain't happening. So lo and behold, how the good Lord will set it up.
There it is.
Yolanda was being honored. Yolanda Adams was being honored. And I was the host.
Wow.
And that night I'm doing my jokes, and it seemed like Marcus seemed like nobody in there laughing but Yolanda. I ain't lying. I remember that night. It just like she was the only one just laughing. I was like, dang, I need to take you with me.
I was gonna say, you don't know if you bombing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm bombing. She just trying to save me. So lo and behold, a couple of months later, she get a show. The Yolanda Adams Morning Show.
There it is,
With Funky, not Funky Larry, but
brother
Larry Jones.
Absolutely, I remember.
So they needed a comedian. Now that radio station and everybody, they had their own people who they wanted. But Yolanda was like, nah, I just seen this dude. A couple months ago. Who got it, yo. He know the Bible and he funny, blah, blah, blah. And so just so happened Larry knew me. So he called me. They called me like 5 a.m. and was like, hey, will you come up here and audition?
Wow.
And I said, yeah, I'll be up there. So I went 3 Fridays in a row.
Never did no radio?
Never did radio. I did 3 Fridays in a row. And Yolanda leaned back and said the best thing I ever heard since my wife said yes to will you marry?
What'd she say?
You got the job.
Wow. Wow.
But here's the livest part of the story. So the same people who told me no. Now I got to negotiate the contract.
Wow.
But and now you got to negotiate it based on what Yolanda talking about.
Now your dollar's really moving up.
All
right, so how did life change for the professor comedian out here grinding, now radio personality, funny man, because the show was national. It got syndicated. Syndication.
It's almost like I was trying to get a local show, and God was like, hey,
boy,
you're moving too fast.
Boy.
Relax, I got you. Put me on the national syndicated show. We got up to 58 markets.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did life change for you then?
Life completely changed as it relates to travel. So I was working, but I was working unknown. I was working literally off of referrals. Like I'll go to this church and they'll call another church like, hey man, that dude there, you need to have him at your thing. But when I got on that radio, not everybody was able to, to see what I had to offer and change the whole game.
You just tuning in, man. Comedian Marcus D. Wiley is inside the Blessed Beatz Show right here. BlessedBeatz.com, 93.7 The B. Man, I gotta say a moment in the show because for a lot of people don't know, man, I was one of the producers on the show, probably 3-4 years into it. And one thing we were just talking about in the beginning, the grind that you was doing. I used to see during the commercial breaks. Right? You still a professor. You still a comedian. Now you this radio personality. But during the commercial breaks, bro, I used to see you calling or Googling churches. And talk about how your grind was going, man, for these people that don't understand when they say I'm out here grinding.
It's more than just a statement. So though I was on the radio and working at the school and doing my comedy, I still want to keep a personal relationship. And not only that, I want to stay working. So like you say, in the commercial breaks, I will go to these churches' websites, see the events that they're having, contact these churches and let them know, yo,
Yeah.
do y'all want a comedian on this show? Do you need a comedian? You
Yeah.
need a comedian.
Yeah.
You need me on this show.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. And so it got easier when I was on the show. I was doing that before radio.
Okay.
I was already doing that. That's
Right.
what I was saying. I was already working.
Nice.
But it was easy now that I'm on the air to call and say, hey, this is comedian Marcus D. Wiley. And they be like, stop lying.
Yeah, now they know you.
Now they know it. I'm like, no, this is me.
Right.
For real. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking on your website. I see y'all
Yeah.
had this concert. I want to host it.
Marcus, man, no publicist, no, this you doing this.
This is me. Let me tell you what Yolanda told me.
Go ahead.
One of the best things Yolanda said.
Go ahead.
Yolanda said, Marcus, God is my PR.
Nice.
This is what she told me.
Yeah.
God, my PR. Now, let me preface that.
Okay.
She probably live a whole lot better than me. so he don't mind being her PR.
Right.
But just the fact that she let me know,
Yeah.
man, if you serving,
Yeah.
you trying to live, best you can, all
Yeah.
this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Man, the Lord gonna take care of you.
Absolutely.
Now, I might not when you want it,
Right.
all that old type of stuff.
Right.
But trust and believe, you're gonna be taken care of. And so I kind of took that, man. I haven't had any of that.
Wow.
God been my PR.
Yeah.
He been my manager, my agent,
Yeah.
the whole nine.
Yeah.
And I could say I ain't missed a meal.
Yeah.
Life's good.
I got to ask you, because a lot of people know Yolanda's one of the GOATs in the game, right?
Yes.
Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Come on.
Or 5. How many on Rushmore? Whatever,
Yeah.
4. How was it, man, this dude from H-Town, grinding, TSU dude, man, you sitting next to the Yolanda Adams now.
Yolanda Adams.
Right?
Grammy.
Yeah.
Grammy's all she the one
Did you
every
feel
award.
like I have to be a certain, how?
So
Yeah.
here it is.
Yeah.
I was nervous at first.
Okay.
Beautiful part about Miss Yolanda Adams is, man, she regular people.
Regular.
When I got on that show, this is the first thing she said. She said, hey, man,
Yeah.
you not on this show like I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
You on this show because you good.
Man.
So be great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just her thing. And then she has no ego. It's like she let me do me.
Yeah.
She taught me so much, man, how to have a career.
Yeah.
A good name.
Yeah.
How to treat the people who work with you and for you.
Nice.
Man, because she has, man, there's been times, Marcus, where somebody will tell me, I'm going to give you an example.
Go ahead.
It was a New Year's Eve show,
Okay.
and this pastor wanted me and Yolanda.
Okay.
He was offering Yolanda on New Year's Eve,
Okay.
and I'm just throwing this out. He was
Yeah.
offering Yolanda 30 racks
Okay.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah. It's church money, people.
It's
Yeah.
church money.
Yeah, we get into the church money. Okay, 30
That was
racks.
30 racks.
Yeah.
But her price is higher than that when she's coming
course.
live with her band and
Of
everything.
course, we
but,
know that,
But
yeah.
he had 30 racks. Well, Marcus, he was paying me 12. I think he was giving me 10 or 12 at this particular time.
Okay.
Most
Man,
money I'm gonna ever
I was
make.
gonna say, where do I sign?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
But it was only if Yolanda.
Shows up.
So I'm in here telling Yolanda, hey, yo, listen. I'm like, yo, I know you cost more than that, but I ain't never made this type
Right.
of money. I need you to do this one for me.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Do you know what Yolanda Adams told me?
Yes, that.
Marcus, I am not leaving my house
Wow.
on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
Leaving my daughter and my family and everything. It's family time because they with their family.
Right.
I'm not with mine, but they with theirs.
Absolutely.
She said, so, and no disrespect,
Right.
but I'm not leaving it for $30,000. Wow. I said, oh man. She said, don't worry. I'll give you that little
I'll
money
give you that.
that the church was gonna give you.
Yeah.
And she gave it to
Gave
me.
it to you.
That's the whole point of that. She gave it
But
to
what
me.
was the lesson you learned from
The
that?
lesson I learned was, bro, one, know your worth.
Nice.
Watch yourself.
Yeah.
Know your worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let these few dollars,
Yeah.
act as if, this is going to be the last time I'm going to be offered
Right.
this kind of money.
Right.
And so she has taught me a valuable lesson how to understand my work, know my work, stick to your gun. Watch this. Stop making God little.
Man.
Just because you only be thinking, he only can,
Yeah.
I'm only going to get. No,
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
making that man little. Let that
Yeah.
man operate.
Wow.
And so that's how it is. So I probably have turned down more money, over the years.
Right.
Than, I ain't gonna say that I have accepted, but I'm just saying
Right.
I've turned down a lot of money. People probably have raised eyebrows on.
Marcus D. Wiley on the Blessed Beatz Show, man, dropping gems for you people, man, for all of us, for me too. Yeah. So, man, fast forward, Yolanda Adams Morning Show, cooking biggest Christian gospel show.
We rolling.
10 years.
We rolling.
Yeah. Them lights went out.
Them lights went out.
Talk about that day, bruh.
So that day, April 21st,
Man.
2016.
Yeah.
I was actually in Dallas.
Okay.
I had a show in Dallas, and I was doing the morning show that morning from my hotel room.
Okay.
Well, the powers that be come in. I hear them,
Yeah.
you know, because I got my headphones on. I hear them, and they was like, what Marcus?
Oh, wow.
And they was like, oh, he's in Dallas. And they was like, well, nobody said he was going to be in, you know, I was like, nobody said. They won't even operate like this.
Right.
So it was already, they came in wrong.
Okay.
And then they said, well, we have a meeting.
Okay.
Y'all need to stay. We got a meeting after the show. Marcus can just pipe in.
Right.
So, show was over after the show. They said, they used these words that I've only heard white people use.
Yeah, man.
We've decided to dissolve.
Dissolve.
Dissolve. They said dissolve.
You got the cameraman.
We've
man.
decided to dissolve.
Yeah.
The Yolanda Adams Morning Show.
Wow.
Discontinue.
But, bro, the ratings went down.
No, ratings was good.
Money was good.
Everything was good.
Yeah.
Everything was straight. You know, one of the, I think, one of the most or best grossing gospel.
Probably the most.
The most, yeah. You know, I don't want to brag.
Yeah, go ahead. I was on that show, so I can take
I don't
credit.
want to brag.
Yeah, go ahead.
But we was the best morning show now. But and I used to always call us the best morning show with the least. Okay,
Very nice,
the best with the least.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Right.
Because I saw Steve Harvey. I went and saw his show, and I seen 20 people working.
And you've been on Tom Jones.
I've been on Tom Jones.
Yeah.
I got to do all my research, find all my stuff. So I'm saying the best with the least.
Like,
okay.
Right.
And so anyway, when they said that, I was like, whoa, you know, because I got it on speakerphone. I'm listening. I'm dissolve, discontinue.
Yeah.
We're not having no more. We got your severance packages.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, this is cold blood.
Yeah.
So I fly back in. I'm just in Dallas. I fly back, go up there, give my severance, sign, get your last check, sign off, sign everything.
Yeah.
And then it was over.
Man.
Now watch this here. Over don't really hit you until later. Because you got to remember, at this time, we hot.
Very hot.
Everybody mad. We off right now. So you don't feel the effects of over when everybody's still, what happened?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Right.
You thinking, well, man, we'll be back.
Right.
It was a good product.
Right.
So now what? We're in 19.
Yeah. What year was that?
That was 16.
Wow. Time go by.
Yeah. April 21st.
Yeah. Remember them dates.
Oh, I remember the date.
Yeah.
April 21st.
Yeah.
And so what happens now is you hear people like, hey, man, I like, you know, they got this new show on. It ain't y'all. I deal with it. Ain't y'all. And you don't even want to hear that. You would think you want to hear it. I would rather just say, oh, the new show banging. I love it.
Right.
Don't tell me the new show ain't good, but they working.
Yeah.
I ain't on. I mean,
and they ain't good.
Yeah.
Right.
So you ain't doing me no favor.
Right.
You know, but then you realize, wow, you know, that was a good moment in time. What I'm glad about Marcus was I didn't waste that time.
Nice.
His perspective.
Okay.
Them 10 years, I came to work every day on time, putting it down. I never took it for granted.
Yeah, you beat me in there a couple days. Yeah.
I can say that I'm cool because I didn't get fired for something I did.
Okay.
They didn't test me positive for weed or cocaine in my. I mean, you know.
Gotcha.
I mean, I ain't do nothing wrong.
Right.
They just went in another direction.
Gotcha.
And that's what I had to learn in life. You know, termination is not. Termination sometimes is graduation.
Nice.
You know, a lot of times when God shakes something up, we look at it like, when really, how else was you going to move from now?
Man.
I would never move from now because if he didn't shake it up.
Right.
So it got shook up.
Right. Got shook up. Man, again, Marcus D. Wiley on the Blessed Beatz Show, boy. Yeah. We can go all day, but okay. Lights off, morning show over, now you sleeping in? Getting away. Okay, so...
Getting kids ready for school. I ain't never did that.
You started seeing all kind of stuff.
They talk about daddy. I'm home with breakfast. What?
How'd you stay busy? And then the birth of Marcus D. Wiley on this social media just done made me have to step in. I'm like, man, let me watch him.
Listen, I didn't embrace social media. Okay. I'm going to tell you, the one thing, if I have any regrets, when social media first hit the scene, I didn't embrace it. One, I was on the radio. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was for people who probably wasn't on the radio. I mean, people who was trying to get a platform.
Right.
Cool in the game.
Right. That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah. And so then I remember the day I totally disliked it was somebody posted a clip of me on stage on YouTube. This when YouTube was early going.
Yeah.
And I read it was maybe about 20 comments. Oh, this guy's funny. He's been to my church. He's hilarious. Oh, great dude.
Yeah.
And about the 21st comment, this dude said, this dude is corny than a blank blank.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That rocked me.
Yeah.
Not that you don't like me.
Yeah.
I'm finding there's a lot of people that don't like me.
Okay.
But you gonna tell me? You gonna let the world know where I'm from? When you don't like somebody, you be quiet.
Oh, this social media, they keep it with us.
But I didn't know that then. That's what I'm saying. At this particular time, I didn't know about trolling.
Right.
I didn't know this terminology. So I want to know who is this that's big and bad to be saying something. I'm cool with you not liking me.
All right.
It's some people I don't like.
Right.
I'm talking about talent wise.
Right. Okay.
But I would never tell them.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
Right.
I never say that.
That's my business. Yeah.
What point am I trying to prove when a bunch of other people like them?
Right. Okay.
So who am I now to say,
right.
he ain't funny or she ain't funny
right.
when everybody else like them?
Okay.
But so I'm like, this personal.
Yeah. Right.
Couldn't find them, whoever it was, because I don't really know. I didn't know how to get on the thing. I couldn't find them. I was looking for them.
Yeah.
So then, as I got older, I realized, okay, it's trolls. It's people who looking for some sensation or something like that.
Yeah.
But that was the reason why I felt like I started so far behind with social media. You know,
man.
And I wish I would have done it when I was on the air, when I had 2 million listeners every morning.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But even over there, they didn't even want us to post.
Man,
during that time. See, now you got to do it.
You got to do it now.
But when it first came out,
they
wanted to kind of control you, so they didn't want you putting your Twitter handles and
because you'll be self-made then.
You'll be self-made.
Yeah, right.
So, you know.
So, time go by, bruh.
Yeah.
I'm over here. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
I want to say Facebook showed me to me first. People was tagging me, and I was like, man, I know that dude, right? I'm like, no, for real, I know that dude, right?
I know him.
And they said, man, it's this thing called Hell No Ministries.
Hell No Ministries.
Talk about it, bruh.
So, this is really my wife. My wife, I'm going to show you how I was born. My wife said, babe, you need to start doing something on social media.
Okay.
And I would say, hell no. No, I'm just to be honest.
Right.
I said, I don't want to be on there. I just didn't want, that ain't my thing.
Right.
She said, babe, this is how people are coming up.
Yeah.
This is like the new way.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be on there like everybody else, but you need a presence on there.
Yeah.
So, hence, Hell No Ministries.
Gotcha.
My point behind it is we look for hell in the face and say, no, I ain't going.
Yeah.
But it's for you to live your best life, man. I'm telling, every time I come on, I tell you to give yourself a standing ovation. Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Don't wait for people to like your stuff. You like you.
You like you, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all that. And forgive yourself. God already forgave you.
Gotcha.
You know, and then I just kind of talk about different things. Whether I'm talking about, I mix it.
Yeah.
You know, that's my whole life. I'm like Al Green. You know, I'm secular and spiritual.
Right.
You know, I mix it together.
Right,
you know,
right.
secular is not a bad word. Okay,
Yeah.
it just means not spiritual.
There you go.
You know, but anyway, so I just talk about everything. If I want to talk about why men cheat,
Yeah.
okay, then I might want to talk about, on this other hand, if the Bible say your gift will make room.
Yeah.
Problem is you don't like the room your gift got you in. I mean, you know. I'm gonna give you both. I'm gonna give you both sides of it, you know. And we just kind of merge together. And so
These just be thoughts in your head, or
just be thoughts, just different things that happen, man.
Yeah,
Stuff that just happened to me that I would normally do on the radio.
Yeah.
That now I just bring, you know, on Monday night.
Okay, I was just gonna say Monday night 7
p.m. Central.
Okay, Facebook and Instagram.
And Instagram.
And we definitely gonna get those away. But now you got something, because you still working a lot, bro. I catch the end of, man. You here, you Alaska, you everywhere.
I got bills.
Yeah.
It's two things that's faithful.
Okay.
God, bills.
And them bills. You gotta take care of both of them.
They faithful.
Okay. So you got this coming up. What's this next big thing? Because I heard about it the other day. And
Monday night,
yes.
January 28th.
Yes.
At the Houston Improv.
Okay. In H-Town.
Okay. Pastors Only is the name of my new show. It's called Pastors Only.
Yeah.
Pastors Only is where I've invited all the pastors in Houston and surrounding greater Houston area.
Okay.
Free. It's free for them. All
Right.
they have to do is RSVP.
Okay.
If you're a pastor.
Okay.
You just go to my IG RSVP or call the number, whatever.
Pastor.
Pastor. That means
No
your
minister
name
of
on the-
music?
no minister of music. All right. Not the pastor of the parking lot. Not the pastor of the youth men. No. You the pastor founder.
Okay.
Your name on the marquee.
Yeah, that picture on the wall.
The picture. If I go to the website, you and your wife with that silly look, like, come join us. You, pastors only, and it's a night where they gonna come together. They get this red carpet, take some pictures, fellowship, meet other pastors.
Okay.
But then here what I had to offer.
Okay.
So my whole thing is every weekend I fly over a Houston church to go to somebody else's church.
Absolutely.
I never work in Houston.
And you from here.
And
This
I'm
your
from
backyard.
here. Right. And so I know they'll say, well, a prophet is without honor in his own town. Well, I'm a comedian. I ain't no prophet. That scripture ain't for me. Okay, so I should be working
Right.
in my home city. And
Right.
so so I'm just trying to let these pastors know when you have events.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, holla at your boy.
Yes.
Yeah. And so Jen and I'm letting them see what I have to offer.
Very nice.
Opposed to just saying it.
What kind of
They get to
stuff gonna
see
go
it.
down there?
So I'm finna tell them why the church the attendance is low.
Man,
People don't go to church no more.
bro, it ain't the cool thing right now.
It ain't cool
Right.
at all.
Right.
And so I'm gonna address that in some funny ways.
Okay.
Talking about why people not going to church based off of the information I received from my barbershop, which is the best research you could ever get.
They gonna keep it real.
Oh, they keep it. I love my barbershop.
Yeah.
They keep it 100.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk also about we got to stop inviting people to church and start impressing people to church.
Oh, wow.
That's totally different.
Yeah.
When you impress folk, they just come.
Yeah.
When you invite them, when you invite people, look at you. You've been inviting me, but I'm looking at your life. Your life's so raggedy. Why would I want to come and be a part of what I'm assuming helping your raggedy life?
Man.
So we
Man.
need to be more impressive.
Yeah.
Than inviting.
What's
folk.
that date?
The 28th.
28th, Houston Improv.
That's Monday night.
How are we getting in touch with you?
Get in touch with me. Go to MarcusDWiley.com. I still have a website. That's my base.
Yeah.
But everything, Marcus D. Wiley IG, Marcus D. Wiley Twitter.
Yeah.
And I believe, Marcus D. Wiley Facebook.
Yeah, now, for people, we know that they're listening to this on the air. That's H-Town. That's for you.
Yeah.
You watching this on social media. I know they, Mark, what about D.C.? What about...
So I just got a call. Phoenix, Pastors Only is going to come to Phoenix.
There you go.
It's going to Phoenix. Somebody else called me from North Carolina.
Okay.
So the thing is, I work everywhere else.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I don't want to say I don't have a problem working everywhere else, but
Yeah.
I work other places.
Absolutely.
It's at the home team.
Yeah.
That I don't work. So
Very-
trying to get in.
Very nice, man. Anything else going on 2019 for you? I know we're going to try to get you more booked in Houston. We'll go everywhere to see you here. You know what I'm saying? What else going on in your life?
Got some things working. Me and my guys, we're trying to right now put this show together called Topic Is. So once a month in Houston, we're looking for the venue right now where I want to address a topic. I know what I've learned. People like topics.
Yeah.
They like to know what they coming to listen to.
True.
So this show just called Topic Is ... And I want it in a small venue. We've been venue hunting right now. Whether we're talking about money, whether we're talking about sex, whether we're talking about marriage, whether we're talking about singles, the whole nine. This is the topic this particular month, but it's more like a show like, what's my man name to be on HBO, the comedian with the hair, Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, okay.
Bill Maher. Something
Okay.
that's going to be along the lines of that look.
Very nice.
I was also in a play, man, that people have picked up.
Yeah, you acting.
Yeah, I'm acting. I'm trying to get it.
Yeah.
The Lord opened the door, let me walk in.
Yeah.
And so I'm in this play called Don't Count Me Out. They have picked up some dates this year.
Yeah.
My new project that I really want Netflix to pick up.
Man.
It's called Bathtubs and Bibles.
Boy, you own it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to start. You
You like it working.
stay ready.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to get ready. You know how it is.
Very, very nice,
Yeah,
man.
so that's it, man.
Yeah.
Just staying working.
Man, I got to say this for my people watching one time. I don't know if I know I did. I had to tell you thank you back then. I was back on the Yolanda Adams Morning Show, man, and my apartment got robbed, right? I want to say it was a week out. Something had happened to you. Like a week later, my apartment got robbed. Wiley, you called me over to your house, man. Boy laced me up with some sneakers, some clothes, some gin. And
I forgot all about that.
So I tell people that story all the time. So I appreciate it.
That's what we supposed to do. $1
million question before we get out of here.
Come on with it.
And I'm asking because if it come true, I want them to go back to this YouTube and say, man, he said it on the Blessed Beatz Show.
Okay.
Are you coming back to radio? Can't talk about it.
My lawyers have. Let's just say, if I'm coming back to radio, the answer would be, I would say, there's a high possibility.
There you go. There's
a high possibility.
Love it, man. Shout outs to your people. Yolanda, we love you. Who you want to?
Well, just everybody. H-Town, all the people that's watching all over. Blessed Beatz is a big-time show.
Man.
I watch it.
Man.
I don't know why they ain't going to be doing the red carpet at Pastors Only, but that's another story for another time.
We in there.
Yeah, and so, but just shout out to everybody, man. To my wife, Erica, you know, she been real good, real supportive during this time.
Well, there it is, man. Appreciate you on the show, man. If you're watching this on social media, go ahead and stretch your hands to that thing, Marcus. Give us a quick prayer out of here.
Lord, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for the platform, for Marcus having me, and hopefully someone said today that'll bless somebody and that'll keep folk moving forward. Amen.
Amen. Pastors Only coming up. Rewind the interview to check it again. All right, it's the Blessed Beatz Show on the all-new 93.7 The Beat. We out here.